Have you ever wondered how a city's walls, once crumbled to ruins, could rise again? As we turn the pages of the book of Nehemiah, we find ourselves immersed in such a tale. A tale of destruction, despair, and the eventual rise from the ashes. This narrative, at its core, is driven by one man's audacious call to rebuild, Nehemiah. Nehemiah wasn't a king, a warrior, or a high priest. He was a cupbearer, a role that may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Yet it was through this seemingly ordinary position that he found himself serving King Artaxerxes, the ruler of the Persian Empire. It was within the confines of this palace that Nehemiah first heard the dire news of Jerusalem. His beloved city was in ruins, its people in distress, its walls crumbled. Nehemiah was deeply moved by this. His heart ached for his people and his homeland, but rather than wallow in despair, he chose to act. He sought the king's permission to return to Jerusalem and lead the restoration of the city. The decision was not an easy one. It required courage, determination, and a steadfast faith. But Nehemiah was not deterred. He was driven by a divine calling, a mission that was far bigger than himself. The king granted Nehemiah's request, and so began an arduous journey of restoration. A journey that would take him from the comforts of the palace to the ruins of a city. A journey that would challenge him, test him, and ultimately transform him. This was no ordinary task. It was a divine mission, a call to rebuild not just the physical walls of Jerusalem, but also the spiritual and social fabric of a people. And so begins Nehemiah's journey of faith and leadership, a journey that will test his resolve and reveal the power of divine providence. As we delve deeper into this narrative, we'll witness Nehemiah's unwavering commitment, his visionary leadership, and the miraculous hand of God guiding every step of the way. For in the story of Nehemiah, we find a testament to the transformative power of faith, hope, and resilience. What circumstances led to the city of Jerusalem lying in ruins? To answer this question, we must step back into the annals of history, to a time of great upheaval for the Jewish people. The Babylonian exile, a pivotal event in Jewish history, began in the 6th century BCE. The mighty Babylonian Empire led by King Nebuchadnezzar laid siege to Jerusalem, ultimately destroying the city and its famed temple. The Jewish people were taken captive and exiled to Babylon, marking a period of immense suffering and loss. For decades the Jewish people lived in Babylon, their homeland nothing more than a distant memory. Yet, amid their sorrow, hope endured. Prophecies foretold a time of return and restoration, a promise that kept their faith alive. In an unexpected twist of fate, the Babylonian Empire fell to the Persians. The Persian king, Cyrus the Great, adopted a more benevolent policy towards the conquered nations. He allowed the Jewish exiles to return to their homeland and even provided resources for the rebuilding of the Jerusalem temple. Yet the return wasn't as triumphant as they had hoped. The city they once knew lay in ruins. Its walls, once a symbol of strength and protection, were now a stark reminder of their defeat and humiliation. The social and political dynamics were equally challenging. The returnees faced opposition from the people who had settled in the region during their exile. Furthermore, without a strong wall for protection, Jerusalem was vulnerable to attacks. These were the circumstances that Nehemiah encountered when he felt the divine call to lead the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls. His task was monumental, far beyond mere physical reconstruction. It involved restoring hope, rebuilding a community, and re-establishing their identity as God's chosen people. The historical backdrop of the Babylonian exile and the subsequent return to Jerusalem provides the context to fully understand the enormity of Nehemiah's mission. It's not just a mission of rebuilding walls, but of renewing faith, restoring hope, and reaffirming their covenant with God. Understanding this backdrop, we can fully appreciate the magnitude of Nehemiah's mission. What does it take to lead a nation in the face of adversity? As we cast our lens on Nehemiah, we find a man who embodies exceptional leadership traits. His story is a testament to the power of visionary leadership in overcoming adversity and restoring hope. One of Nehemiah's most notable traits was his ability to inspire unity. Amidst the ruins of a once mighty city, he rallied the people, instilling in them a collective sense of purpose. He understood the power of unity in achieving a common goal. In a world often divided by differences, Nehemiah's story reminds us that when we stand together, we can surmount even the most daunting challenges. Beyond fostering unity, Nehemiah also demonstrated an uncanny knack for mobilizing resources. From securing the king's support to rallying the people of Jerusalem, his ability to marshal resources was paramount in the rebuilding efforts. This aspect of his leadership teaches us that to effect change, we must harness available resources and put them to work for the common good. Navigating challenges is another facet of Nehemiah's leadership. Faced with opposition and threats, he displayed courage, wisdom, and strategic acumen. His actions underscore the necessity for leaders to be adept at problem-solving and decision-making, even in the face of adversity. But perhaps Nehemiah's most defining trait was his unwavering commitment to God's purposes. Despite the daunting task ahead and the numerous obstacles he faced, Nehemiah remained steadfast in his faith and resolute in his mission. His unyielding dedication to God's call teaches us that true leadership is rooted in a firm commitment to serve and fulfill one's divine purpose. In the grand tapestry of Nehemiah's story, we see an enduring portrait of a leader who inspires hope and fosters a shared vision for restoration. His leadership, characterized by unity, resourcefulness, resilience, and unwavering commitment, serves as a timeless model for leaders across generations. Through his leadership, Nehemiah inspires hope and fosters a shared vision for restoration. How does God's hand guide and protect his people in their mission? This question brings us to the heart of the book of Nehemiah, a narrative filled with instances of divine providence and protection. As we delve deeper, we find that God's hand is ever present, orchestrating events and intervening on behalf of his people. Nehemiah's mission to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem is not without its share of trials and tribulations. Yet, in each challenging situation, we witness the power of prayer and the intervention of divine providence. When enemies mock and threaten, Nehemiah prays, and God frustrates their plans. When the people are weary, Nehemiah prays, and God strengthens their hands. When there is discord among the people, Nehemiah prays, and God brings about reconciliation. Indeed, Nehemiah's prayerful dependence on God is a recurring theme. Each instance of divine intervention is preceded by prayer, underscoring the power of communion with God in overcoming obstacles. It's as if the prayers rise like incense, drawing divine intervention to ensure the success of Nehemiah's mission. The theme of divine providence extends beyond mere protection. It's also about God's guidance and provision. From the king's permission and provision for Nehemiah's journey to the unity and determination among the people, we see God's hand at work. God not only protects his people but also guides and provides for them, turning adversity into opportunity. Moreover, divine providence is an active, not passive phenomenon. It doesn't negate the need for human effort, rather, it works in tandem with it. Nehemiah and the people work diligently, their faith spurring them on. They trust in God's provision, but they also play their part. This interplay between human effort and divine intervention is a hallmark of the narrative. So as we traverse the landscape of Nehemiah's story, we see a tapestry of divine providence woven intricately into the fabric of his mission. We see a God who not only hears the prayers of his people but responds, stepping into their story, guiding, protecting, and providing for them. In Nehemiah's story, we see the transformative power of faith and divine providence at work. What timeless lessons does Nehemiah's story hold for us today, one might ask? A tale of fortitude and vision, Nehemiah's journey offers enduring insights into perseverance, faith, and stewardship. Perseverance, for instance, is demonstrated in Nehemiah's relentless pursuit of his divine calling. Despite the numerous challenges and opposition, he remains unwavering, teaching us the value of tenacity in the face of adversity. Next, we see an inspiring display of faith. Nehemiah's trust in divine provision and his dependence on God's strength during trials stand as a potent reminder of the power of faith in our lives. Lastly, Nehemiah's story underscores the importance of stewardship. His responsible management of resources and his commitment to his people's welfare serve as a model for us to emulate. These lessons, timeless and universal, continue to inspire us in our own journeys. Nehemiah's story is a testament to human resilience, the power of visionary leadership, and God's unending faithfulness. As we close this journey through the book of Nehemiah, let's take a moment to reflect on the key themes we've uncovered. We've journeyed alongside Nehemiah, a humble cupbearer turned visionary leader, who through unwavering faith and divine providence led the restoration of Jerusalem's walls. We've examined the historical context, appreciating the significance of Nehemiah's mission amidst the backdrop of exile and return. We've admired his leadership qualities that inspired unity, mobilized resources, and navigated challenges with wisdom and courage. And we've seen the hand of divine providence orchestrating events and turning adversity into opportunity. Lastly, we've drawn timeless lessons on perseverance, faith, and stewardship. In Nehemiah we see a testament to God's faithfulness, human resilience, and the transformative power of visionary leadership. So may the story of Nehemiah inspire us all on our own journeys of restoration and renewal.